How's it going, guys? So we're going to find out what it would cost every NHL team to trade for William Nylander. Obviously, still without a contract. Hopefully, like, tomorrow he doesn't sign and make this video completely worthless. But obviously, the only current RFA still holding out in the NHL. Very similar, I think, to Le'Veon Bell in the NFL. Almost halfway through that year, he's still holding out. Doesn't feel like the Steelers have offered him what he's worth. Nylander, a very good player. Surprised to see him still holding out. I feel like both sides just refuse to give up any leverage. So, as you can see here, I actually have Nylander making $6 million for this year, as I had to do this myself. Otherwise, the game would make him like a $900K one-year deal because he doesn't have a contract. So, I feel like this is a bit more realistic. Bob McKenzie said, along with a bunch of other people, that Ehlers is the closest comparable to Nylander. I think 6 to 7 long-term makes sense for Nylander, which makes you think either Nylander's asking for like 7.5 plus, or the Leafs aren't even offering him 6. We'll see what would happen if the Leafs decide no longer worth trying to sign Nylander. We're just going to trade him, especially too, if you guys didn't know. They only have one more month to get him signed, or he can't play it all this year. I feel like I'm definitely going to try and get a defenseman back in every trade if I can, as the Leafs offense is already so stacked. Also, guys, forgot to mention before, but Nylander is the 4th most valuable player on the Leafs roster, at least in this game. Matthews is number 1, Marner number 2, looks to be tied with Tavares. The Nylander is the 4th highest. He's actually more valuable than Morgan Riley in this game, along with Freddie Anderson. So you can see there, 22-year-old, 85 overall right winger, medium potential. Like I was saying, I gave him that 1-year, $6 million deal. So we'll see what it takes to get him. For this video, I actually set the trade difficulty to medium. Usually I have it set to hard for these videos, but I felt like it made it a little too unrealistic in the past. Alright guys, so as I started putting together a trade, I realized I needed to turn down the difficulty even more to easy, as Nylander is just valued way too high to make any sort of realistic trade. As you can see here, he actually has more value than Hampus Lindholm, who's like a #1 defenseman on a very good contract, 85 overall, elite potential, roll top 4. He's at least a top pair guy, making 5.2. He's got less value there than Nylander, which again, I think like the Ducks would probably say no if the Leafs offered them Nylander for Lindholm, and I'm pretty sure most of these fans would say yes to this trade. So that's why it's on easy now. It's still gonna be very, very hard to trade for him. Like, I tried even adding a Henrique already, and they still said no on easy. So it's gonna be tough. I'm thinking like Lindholm, Steele, Larson. You get a top forward prospect, a top defensive prospect. The value's on our side. They want all 3 things. Trade is still rejected. Like, that's crazy to me. So this is the most realistic I can make it. Gonna try adding their 2019 first-round pick on top of all this. The Leafs still reject that. Like, this is insane. Alright, so here we go, guys. Lindholm, Steele, Larson, and 2 first-round picks for Nylander. Imagine if this trade actually happened. Like, look at the value. It's not even close. It's on easy. Like, the Leafs are just unwilling to trade him. It's probably because they're a contender, but Lindholm still helps them contend. Let's see what they say. Trade is finally accepted. Ducks had to give up their #1 D-man, top forward prospect, top defensive prospect, 2 first-round picks to land William Nylander. And that's with the trade difficulty set to easy. So let's see what every other team has to give up. Next year, guys, we're taking over for the Arizona Coyotes. Keller has more value than Nylander. It looks like Chychrun's is about equal. Potentially, he has even more. He does have more. I feel like Arizona might do this trade just because Chychrun hasn't quite panned out yet. The least one defenseman. Let's see. Chychrun for Nylander, 1 for 1. And trade goes through. So Arizona had to give up a lot less than the Ducks did. Definitely a better trade for the other team. The Leafs don't get quite as much back, but more realistic for sure. Look at the Bruins next year, guys. You can see McAvoy's actually the highest value on their team. Then you have Pastrnak, Marchand, Bergeron, one of the best lines in hockey. I feel like they won't want to break that up. So we're going to try trading Krug here, but much lower value after those top 4. I mean, we could even add DeBrusk, but it's going to take a lot of first-round picks. So let's try adding like 2 first-round picks with Krug and DeBrusk. I feel like we still probably have to add a 3rd pick. Trade rejected, yeah. So Krug, DeBrusk, 3 first-round picks. Like, again, it's like basically based on kind of the value. Krug should have more than he does, probably. We'll see what they say here, though. Trade rejected. Krug, DeBrusk, 3 first. So at this point, basically you have to trade one of the big guys. I mean, Nylander is younger, so honestly, that's like completely insane to me. Let's see here. Pastrnak, 5 more years at 6.6. Marchand, 7 at 6. I mean, one of the best, contracts in hockey. No way they trade the captain, Bergeron. So maybe they do a lateral move. Pastrnak for Nylander. Pasternak's out of value. The Leafs are fine with. I don't know why this trade would go through, but we'll try it. And there we go. So the Bruins could trade Pastrnak for Nylander, who's probably better than Nylander, but pretty much the only trade that they can make, really. So that was a weird one for sure. And next to you guys, you have Buffalo. As you can see, a ton of players with enough value to trade for Nylander, 1 for 1. Alex Nylander actually is almost worth just as much, which is kind of crazy because he is so much more unproven than his older brother, William. They don't want Alex, though. Plus, like I said, the value is not quite enough. Casey Middlestat, though, they do want. The value looks to be about even. Honestly, if I'm Buffalo, I don't know. Middlestat's look pretty average so far. They have the cap space. Let's see what the Leafs say. Trade rejected. I thought Casey Middlestat alone would have been enough. Kind of surprised they said no to that. Let's see here. Tage Thompson we could throw on. Really a bunch of guys we could throw on. Let's see. Jake McCabe. Cheap. Maybe they do that. Put him in the top 6. And there we go. We're moving down Thompson and Nelson. Calling up Beaulieu. Trade goes through. Looking at Calgary now. Kachuk, Gaudreau, Monahan, Hanifin. Look like they'd all be possible 1-for-1 trades. Calgary does have a good amount of depth on D. Probably could do Hanifin for Nylander 1-for-1. Still have Giordano, Brody, Hamonic, Valimaki coming up. Let's see what Toronto would say here. I feel like they would definitely say yes, real life, and they say no in-game. I thought that would have went through for sure. They wanted him. The value looked to be pretty equal. Should take no more than a small ad. Let's see here. That's probably all not quite enough. James Neal. Trying to see. Maybe Anderson. Sam Bennett. They give up on, but the Leafs take a chance on. Let's see. Trade accepted. So Sam Bennett there is the difference maker. Looking at Carolina next year, guys. I feel like a lot of their players are undervalued. Svechnikov would definitely get it done. Nikas is probably not quite enough. Aho's now a center. Still only has high top 6 potential, though. I'm definitely going to bump that to medium elite. Falk and Hamilton here, I think. At least Hamilton should be worth a lot more. I know a lot of people were talking about maybe Falk could, Carolina could trade for Nylander since they have such good depth on defense. So we'll see here. Maybe Falk, Teravainen even's a little underrated. That's still... I don't even think that's quite enough. I'll try it. Trade rejected. Yeah, it looks like we're still short a little bit. Just going to mix it up here, guys. Try a Justin Falk and Martin Nikas. So they get a right-hand defenseman and a top prospect. Actually, that looks like it's way too much at that point. So maybe Martin Nikas and a lesser defenseman than Falk. Say Martin Nikas and Pesci. So they're still getting an NHL-ready defenseman with top prospect. And they say yes to that. So that'd be a kind of interesting trade as well. Looking at Chicago now, guys. I feel like Kane and Taves, although they have the value, won't go through because of how much they're making. Toronto knows they need that money for Matthews and Marner. Backes, though, could be a really good starting piece. I feel like alone he's probably not quite enough. Yeah, it's a little short, just Backfist. So probably add on like Nick Schmaltz. DeBrincat has the same amount of value, same with Saw, Yoki Harju, but I think if I'm Chicago, of those 4, Schmaltz is probably the one I'm most willing to trade. So we'll see this trade if it goes through. It looks to be good value. Like the value's on our side. See what Toronto says. And they reject that trade. I thought for sure that would have went through. Honestly, it's so close, though. Let's see if we can just add, like... They don't want our second-round pick, but we'll try adding anyway. Spockfish Schmaltz in a second. Seems like a very good deal for Toronto. And they do accept that. Next up, guys, with the Avs. Obviously not going to be trading McKinnon or Rantanen. The card here, though, they could move. Not on the team yet, already doing well. Imagine if they added Nylander. How much better that offense would be. Would actually have, like, 2 lines opposed to just that 1 line, even though it is... like, potentially best line in hockey. Smith McCarr, they aren't interested in him for some reason, even though he's a really good young defenseman. We'll have to add something small to this trade to get to go through. Maybe Kerfoot, just get back a winger there for some depth. Value looks to be about even. We'll see what they say. Trade accepted. Next, you guys are the Blue Jackets. Obviously, won't trade Dubois, Werenski, or Jones. Could trade Panarin 1-for-1. Actually saw someone suggest this, as Panarin's better than Nylander, and although he might not resign, at least, have a really good chance to win the Cup this year, so... gives them an even better chance, and then Columbus can try and re-sign Nylander. Wenberg we could package with something, so I'll probably try that first before trading Panarin. Murray there might also work. Let's try Wenberg and Savard. I think Nylander is definitely a better player than Wenberg. They also get back a good defenseman in Savard. It's a lot to give up, but we'll see what they say. I mean, it's not the worst trade so far. And the Leafs reject that. Kind of surprised, to be honest. So let's see. Savard, the only other thing we could offer is Wenberg and Murray, because other than that, it's like first round picks which the Leafs don't want, and Bobrovsky, who has way more value. So Wenberg and Murray or Panarin. What would be like the better trade? Panarin might leave, so let's try the Panarin one. Panarin for Nylander, 1-for-1. The Leafs reject that. Okay, so we'll try the Wenberg and Murray now. See if that goes through. I feel like it's got to, right? Like a cost-controlled center. Good young defenseman in Murray. Trade rejected. Wenberg and Murray. I feel like that's pretty good value. Okay, let's throw on a 2022nd. Like, really not going to be giving them much more than that. There we go. I mean, that's a lot to give up, though, for Columbus. Next year, the Dallas Stars. As you can see with the trade value, you could definitely trade Heiskanen 1-for-1. I don't think they'd ever want to do that, though. Same with Sagan, Ben. Klingberg might even be a 1-for-1, but they would definitely not do that. Radulov, though, maybe they could try and get like a younger version of Nylander. Throw in Honka, who's good, but I don't think as good as, you know, they'd hoped he'd be. Let's see here. Radulov and Honka for Nylander. And trade is rejected. I'm kind of surprised by that one. Alright, guys. Radulov, Hintz, Honka, first and a second. The value is so far on our side. If the Leafs say no, I just don't get it. Basically, they just don't want to take on Radulov's salary is what they're saying. Even on easy trade difficulty, they're still not willing to. So I guess we'll see here if Heiskanen 1-for-1 gets it done. I don't see how this trade doesn't get it done. Here you go. And yeah, so Heiskanen 1-for-1 they do. I feel like most Stars fans wouldn't want to do that. Leafs fans, though, probably happy. Next up, guys, we have my favorite team, the Detroit Red Wings. I actually have a few players we could trade for Nylander here, in Larkins, Dina, and Mantha. I might notice I've actually boosted Larkins' potential to medium elite. Not sure why it's top 6. I feel like it should be equal to Mantha's. Much better than a couple years ago. Tried trading for McDavid. I think the Red Wings are the only team that couldn't put together a package to get him. So right here, though, I think we could honestly trade Mantha with a small ad. Alright, guys, with Mantha, also going to try adding Rasmussen here. They want him. Similar value to Cholowski, but I feel like they'd definitely much rather keep Cholowski. So this is about even. We'll see what the Leafs say. Trade is still rejected. Honestly, pretty surprised by that. Let's see if we can add like a couple second-round picks. For some reason, they don't want Detroit second-round picks. I don't know why they want the other teams, but not Detroit's. Trade is rejected. So it's now Mantha, Rasmussen, a first and 2 seconds for William Nylander. I don't know how they say no to this. Trade's finally accepted. That seems like a huge package. Moving on to Edmonton now. Obviously, not trading McDavid or Draisaitl. Puljujarvi, though, lots of value. They get a more experienced winger back in Nylander, someone to play with McDavid, which is what they want. The salary cap apparently would work. Let's see what the Leafs say. Wow, they'd say yes to this. So, Puljujarvi for Nylander 1-for-1. That's definitely an interesting trade. Next up, we have Florida here. Barkov, Ekblad, obviously being overpayment. Trocheck doesn't have quite enough value. I'm surprised Huberdeau so much lower. I mean, 1 overall higher, but I guess 3 years older. That'd be why. So let's try Trocheck here with Matheson. Maybe that would get it done. They probably don't like the fact they're taking on so much salary, though. I could see that being an issue. Trade rejected.
20 minutes later.
I guess like the only thing left would be Trocheck and 3 firsts. If they say no, then have to basically offer Ekblad. So Trocheck, 3 first-round picks. William Nylander. They still say no. So Dubas, he literally just rejects anything unless it's what he wants. Let's try. I mean, who would they rather trade, you think? I mean, Barkov's the captain. Barkov probably has more value in real life than Ekblad, so 1-for-1. I feel like there's no way they say no to that. Yeah, okay, obviously they say yes to Ekblad. I'm surprised none of the other offers we made went through. Next up, guys, we have the LA Kings. Drew Doughty, Anze Kopitar, I feel like would be off the table. Jeff Carter, Leafs probably, honestly, in real life, more interested in Muzzin. Unfortunately, doesn't have quite enough value, though, looking at it. Maybe Muzzin, Camp, first-round pick. Probably going to cost, actually, like, more than that. Probably cost, like, 2 or 3 first-round picks, but we'll try just that. Okay, I figured. So we'll add another one, and then we'll add a third. I feel like there's no way they say no to that with 3 firsts, but maybe 2 works. Okay, so Muzzin, Camp, 3 first-round picks for William Nylander. It's kind of crazy sometimes how the trades work out. Like, if you don't have that player with that by themselves has enough value, just adding it all on, it makes it so much tougher. And wow, so Muzzin, Camp, 3 firsts. Alright, we're going to try a huge overpayment here. Quick and Muzzin for William Nylander. And that goes through, but I can't believe it cost that much. Next year, guys, the Minnesota Wild. Ryan Suter is the most valuable. We know from all the franchise modes, his value decreases quite a bit as he ages. Maybe that'll happen in real life. So they're willing to trade him, stick with their young decor with Dumba, Brodin. Then probably have to add still to him, so maybe add Luke Kunin as well. Value's on our side now. They want both pieces. Let's see what the Leafs say. Trade rejected, Suter and Kunin. I'm kind of surprised they rejected that. I guess we could throw on like a first-round pick here. I feel like they gotta say yes at this point. And there we go. So, I mean, that honestly could work out well for Minnesota. Obviously, don't think that would happen in real life, though. And next, guys, we have the Montreal Canadiens. Shea Weber actually has a good amount of value as he's not injured right now in the game. Durant has even more, but I feel like probably Montreal would rather move Weber. I mean, I would. It's a worse contract. Alone, though, that would not get Nylander. Maybe Max Domi. Send another Domi back to the Maple Leafs. Pretty equal value there. They want both players. Let's see what they say. Trade rejected. Okay. So instead of trading Weber, I'm going to try and trade Durant here with Domi still, because Durant's pretty close on his own. Here we go. Let's try this. I can't believe that was rejected. Like, that had to be so close. Okay, we'll add a first round pick now. It's like, I mean, you could look at it as Durant, Domi in a first, or you could look at it as Sergachev, Galchenyuk in a first. Either way works. Toronto still rejects, though. Are you kidding me? Okay, let's do Juleson instead of Domi, because he has less salary. And that seems to be a big thing Dubas is concerned with right now. Here we go. Trade accepted. That's a lot. Next up, we have the Nashville Predators. One thing you can kind of see looking at the values is they're definitely not equal to real life. Like, Tolvanen here has almost equal value to Subban and Yossi. Although in real life, I think Ellis has more value, and his is less than Johansson, Turris, Forsberg, Tolvanen. Forsberg probably has more, but I feel like it's probably equal at least with Turris and Johansson, maybe more. And then you got Ekholm and Fiala there. So Nashville could probably trade Tolvanen straight. I don't know if it'd be straight up. If it doesn't work, I think adding Saros would be enough to go through. Try this 1-for-1. Trade rejected. I figured it would be. So could try Tolvanen and Saros now. Honestly, Nashville's not giving up too much here and adding Nylander. Like, it's not too bad of a trade. This actually goes through. See what the Leafs say. There, trade accepted. That's actually one there that maybe both teams say yes. Next up here with the Devils, only two guys we can do 1-for-1s with are Hischier and Hall. I don't think the Devils would want to do that with either of the guys. Nylander might be better than Hischier right now, but Hischier definitely, I think, has a higher ceiling. Other than that, we could try and trade Corey Schneider, as Kincaid's actually played pretty well for them, so maybe they'd be down for that. I don't know why the Leafs would want to do that trade, as they already have a good goalie in Anderson, but we'll try this first, and then if not, we'll probably just do, like, Hischier 1-for-1. Oh, wow. They actually said yes to Schneider in a first. I mean, with how Kincaid's been playing, that's not a terrible trade for the Devils. Next year with the Islanders, obviously Barzal we could trade, but he's off limits. Wallstrom, I think by himself is probably not enough for Nylander, even though he is like really cheap right now. Yeah, they reject. I kind of figured that, but Wallstrom in a small ad, I mean, that'd be pretty good, I think, for the Islanders. This might be another one where like it's not too bad of a deal for both teams. Let's see. Eberle's on an expiring deal, might go to UFA anyways. So even though he's got more value than Pulak and Lee, I think that actually make more sense. Or you could even do Hickey here. Like, I don't really know how much we'd have to add. Let's try Wallstrom and Hickey. And that gets to go through. So again, that's not that bad of a trade. Moving on to the Rangers now. Krasov has the most value, but alone definitely won't get to go through. Maybe him and Shattenkirk. Seems like a lot to give up for Nylander, but this might honestly not even be enough. And yeah, trade rejected. So we could do those two. Krasov, Shattenkirk, D'Angelo, 2 firsts. Wow, so they just don't want the salary, it looks like. So we're now trying Krasov with 3 firsts in Howden. And that actually gets to go through. That was tough. And we now have the other Ontario team in Ottawa. Brady Tkachuk, we could actually probably trade 1-for-1 for Nylander. I feel like that's not too bad a trade for Ottawa. Chabot would also get it done, but I mean, you guys have seen how he's playing this year. Ottawa would never do that. Stone we'd actually have to add to. Same with Duchesne. They don't have a first round pick, nor do they have a goalie really with the value, so I'm thinking we'll just try Tkachuk here, 1-for-1 for William Nylander. I think the Leafs say yes, and they do. Honestly, I don't think that's too bad. Let me know, Ottawa fans. Next up, guys, are the Philadelphia Flyers. They have a ton of players with enough value to trade for Nylander. Could even do like Voracek, who's just kind of like an older version. Ghost actually has less value. I think the Leafs would definitely do Nylander for Ghost 1-for-1, but I think we'll try Voracek first. I feel like he has less value, even though they want him. They probably say no because of his salary. Yeah, trade rejected. So, I mean, honestly, a good deal for Philly, since they are competing right now, would be Nolan Patrick. Had a pretty average at best, I'd say, rookie year. Looks like all the recently drafted top prospects have way more value probably than they should, and some other players probably don't have enough. So we'll try Nolan Patrick here, 1-for-1. Again, I think this should go through, and it does. So I think Philly definitely likes that trade. I don't know about Leafs fans, although maybe the Philly fans, are higher on Patrick than I am. And next up we have the Penguins, and I want to try something just for fun, sending Phil Kessel back to Toronto for Nylander. I mean, he's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. Imagine he was a 3-time on the Leafs. The value is actually, it looks to be the exact same, so maybe they say yes because they do want Kessel. Trade rejected. I can't believe they wouldn't do that. Could try adding a first-round pick here with Kessel for Nylander. And the trade goes through. So, I mean, I don't know. Nylander's younger, but I probably don't do that trade as Pittsburgh. All right, guys. We're now on the San Jose Sharks. 2 best offensive D-men in the league, Carlson and Burns. Could probably trade Burns straight up for him. I'm going to try doing it without moving one of those two. So, we'll try Pavelski here. with Braun as the first offer. It's more value on our side. They want both. Trade rejected though. Burns actually has less value, so they might say no to this. They say no. Nylander for Burns. That's insane. I feel like no way they say no to that in real life. Okay, we'll throw Meyer on here. This is a huge overpayment from San Jose, but they don't even have any first-round picks in the next couple years to work with, so kind of in a tough spot here to get Nylander. They still reject Burns and Meyer. That's insane. Like I was saying, they don't have any first-round picks next couple years. I guess we could try 2021 first-round pick. This is such an overpayment. Trade rejected. Don't like the salary. Oh my god. Let's try Burns and Pavelski. This is just a stupid offer at this point, but whatever. And they say yes. That's probably the worst trade yet. Looking at St. Louis now, guys, I feel like the deal that makes the most sense is trading Schwartz with like a small ad. Parayko's value is definitely not as high as it should be. He should be at least equal to Schwartz, if not higher. Same with even Shen, I feel it should be equal to Schwartz. So let's see, could probably just do that and like a first-round pick to get Nylander. I feel like this should go through. Pretty good salary or contract too on Schwartz. And trade rejected. I thought that was pretty fair deal, to be honest. And I still can't get over how hard it is to trade for Nylander with the trade set to easy. Like, on hard, it'd basically be impossible. We'd have to, like, give the McDavid. I'll see what this goes through, though. Are you kidding me? Rejected. Alright, last chance here. We'll do Schwartz, Costin, Fabry, and 2 first-round picks. This is such an overpayment, but come on, let's get this to go through. How are they saying no? They're saving money on Schwartz. Okay, we'll take out Fabry. I think he has a little bit less value than Costin. We're going to try doing 3 first-round picks. Again, I like not doing the 3 first-round picks, but it's like either this or Tarasenko or Pietrangelo, which just would never happen. So we'll do this here. Trade accepted, but I mean, giant overpayment. And next up, guys, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning. As you can see, they're loaded with high trade value players. I was thinking we probably could have traded Cal Foote 1-for-1 for Nylander, but he's actually no longer in the game with the most recent roster update. One of those players that's kind of like in limbo right now, hasn't signed the waiver or whatever for the AHL. So I'm thinking McDonough. If he doesn't get it done on his own, a small ad with McDonough. Taylor Radish could probably work because they don't want to take on a lot of value or whatever. And he's on the NHL team. Totally forgot to add Nylander though. I feel like it kind of sucks we actually can't test out the Cal Foote one. I feel like that would for sure work, whatever. So McDonough and Radish here for Nylander. We'll try this. Trade rejected. I'm actually surprised. Like, McDonough would be a pretty good ad there for the Leafs. And then Radish is basically just like a cherry on top. Let's see here. I guess we get to add Yanni Gourde, Sorelli. Like, I don't know. Let's do a first-round pick. Tampa Bay. Do they even have it? They do. They're going to be like a Stanley Cup champion, or pretty close to anyway, so whatever. Basically late first. And they now say yes. So, not too bad. And we're now moving on to the Vancouver Canucks. I know a ton of Canucks fans have been saying how they should trade Tanev and whatever with him for Nylander, but as you can see, it would cost a big plus. Like, it'd probably be Tanev and Horvat. Honestly, Quinn Hughes alone doesn't look like he'd even get it done. Peterson, I don't know how he has max trade value. Like, he's really good, but I feel like he's still a little overrated in this game. Like, 82 overall, 10 games in his NHL career with high elite potential. Seems kind of crazy. So Horvat and Tanev combined still doesn't even give you Nylander. So yeah, like I wanted to try and get this trade to go through with Tanev to kind of show Canucks fans what it would cost. Probably cost them their 2019 first as well with Horvat and Tanev. And yeah, that's rejected. So that's not going to work. Let's try, I think Quinn Hughes and a small ad would probably get this done. Let's do like Quinn Hughes and Edler. They get the defenseman for the meantime plus defenseman of the future. There we go. So I don't think Canucks fans are going to like that. Maple Leafs fans, maybe. And next year, guys, are the Vegas Golden Knights. This looks like it's going to be a tough trade to make happen as their best valued player there, Cody Glass, is only about maybe 2/3 of Nylander, plus Toronto doesn't even want him. They do want Shea Theodore, though. So maybe it'll cost like Shea Theodore plus, I don't know, Shea Theodore in a first-round pick. Value's actually pretty close. I think it's still not quite enough. Yeah, trade rejected. Honestly, this might cost Shea Theodore and Cody Glass, which is pretty ridiculous. But it's like either that or 2 first-round picks with Theodore. I guess we could try that. If Vegas thinks they're contending, they'd probably rather trade 2 firsts, especially with all the picks they have in the next couple years, than Cody Glass. And that still, though, gets rejected, so yeah. We could pull out Fleury, maybe, as, like, a last resort. This should go through. Glass 3 first and Haig. Actually, let's just try Glass and 3 first. Okay, so we'll throw Haig on, and then, if not, we're going to try Marc-Andre Fleury. I don't know how this isn't making, like, you know, them say yes for Nylander. Wow, okay. So Marc-Andre Fleury has a decent amount of value. They actually want Malcolm Subban as well, but he has less value than everything we've been offering. Fleury, Glass, Theodore, 2 first-round picks. Just bend us over. Okay, let's see what the Leafs say to this one. Trade accepted. Yeah, that might be the worst trade. Yeah, I don't know. It's either that one, San Jose, or Anaheim, I think. And next up, we have the Stanley Cup champion, Washington Capitals. Obi for sure off the table. Same with Kuznetsov, Carlson, even Backstrom really should be. The rest of these guys don't have enough value, but someone that might not be in your guys' game, but is in mine. Ilya Samsonov here, quite a lot of value. 21 years old, takes an overall, medium elite potential. So they have Anderson now. Samsonov will be their goalie of the future. Doesn't look like he has enough value on his own, so we could do Samsonov and a first-round pick. Washington have too many skaters. Okay, so we're just going to add somebody. Try Burakovsky then instead, with Samsonov in a first. Nylander is definitely a big upgrade on Burakovsky. And it goes through, but huge price to pay there. Samsonov and a first to upgrade a one-winger. I think the Leafs make out better here for sure. And finally, guys, we have the Winnipeg Jets. As you can see, just like the Lightning, tons of players here with high trade value. Honestly, so many different options. Ehlers, like I was saying, very comparable to Nylander. Same age, same rating. He's making $6 million there for 7 years. Looks like the exact same trade value too. Vesalainen, we could do that. Work out really well for Jets fans. Bufflin, Trouba. I feel like Leafs fans would probably trade Nylander for Trouba, and that wouldn't even be enough here because his value is quite low. Same with Morrissey. I feel like, I don't know, some defenseman values in this game are just not high enough. As in real life, defensemen are worth more than forwards, but in this game, they give most of them medium top 4 opposed to medium elite, which really lowers it. So Matty Appleton, 22.76, medium top 6. I'm pretty sure he's like a good AHL player. See what the Leafs say to this offer. And they say yes. Honestly, I think the Jets fans definitely do this trade. Like, their offense is already good. I know Vesalainen's a good prospect, but they just made their offense that much better. So, right there, guys, is the final trade. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Like I said before, love to hear from all you guys if you liked your favorite team's trade or not. And same goes for Leafs fans. Which trades did you like the best? Which ones did you think were the worst? If you guys enjoy these videos, please do that thumbs up, and I'll make sure to do more. If you guys aren't subscribed yet, make sure to do that as well. On the road to 100K, need your help. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice day. Goodbye.